Hi, everybody. Welcome to the call. Monday nights are like my favorite nights, and I hope they are for you guys too, just getting together. I'm Amanda Huber. That's fun to say because that's new. I'm getting used to it. It officially changed at work today, so like now it's like real. Like there's no more Walsh in my life, and it's pretty darn cool. But anyways, I'm Amanda Huber, and I am a Star Diamond coach. I am one of Lindsay Gray's personally sponsored coaches. I've been a coach for exactly 3 years. It was just 3 years last week. And so it's been pretty awesome. For those of you that don't know me, I think almost everybody at least on the live call knows me and a little bit about my story. But those that are watching it back later, if you don't know me, you'll learn a little bit more. And you'll actually learn some of my story today because we're going to be talking about how your why is not your story. So that is kind of the basis of the call today, and I'll get into more detail and kind of explain what I mean by that, because some people might be a little confused as to, what do you mean my why isn't my story? Like, I think sometimes we might confuse those two things. But just a couple announcements first. I know we have a lot in the Goal Getters downline. There's a big 3-day refresh group starting next week. Really, probably it's probably too late at this point to have anybody else order for that one, but I know that there is another big one starting the first Monday of January as well. Actually, it might be the second Monday. I'll have to clarify that with Lindsay. I think it's January 9th, and then a challenge group the following Monday, the 16th, just because the second sometimes is hard. But with that said, you need to start now promoting for those January groups. Also, there's another health bet starting in January. And actually, $5 from every challenge pack sold from October 31st, so this entire month, through December 31st, $5 has been added to the pool. So I think some people didn't know that or don't know that that's coming up. But really, we need to start talking about the health bet now. We can't wait till January 1st. We have to get people to start thinking about their resolutions now and purchasing now, because it's going to get really close to Christmas. People are going to have a hard time spending money. December is a little bit of a rougher month, I would say, because of the money thing. But we can get people to have their husbands buy it for them for Christmas or whatever. So start promoting that now. I can't believe it is December 1st on Thursday. I don't know if any of you are just shocked that 2016 is almost over. I definitely can't even believe it. So there's a lot going on. Lindsay and I are both pushing for some things towards the end of the month or till the end of the year. And so we're all just we have to work together for all of us to meet our goals. So, Lindsay's texting me right now. So we can't do this alone. We're in this together. So when Lindsay talks about pushing towards the end of the year to meet some goals, it's really as a team. All of these goals, when we talk about we're trying to hit elite and we're trying to hit premier and trying to go to the new leadership conference, we can't do that without you, without our coaches, without our teams. We don't want to do we're not in this business to do it alone, to be here alone. So I know that I have in the Fit Warriors been really trying to some things are going to be changing for 2017, and that's just something that I need to do to push my business forward, because this year has pretty much been a stagnant year for me, and I will talk about that a little bit more when I'm talking about my why and my story. But start promoting the health bet because that kicks off January 9th. So it's the same as it was the last time. So they have to log 5 Shakeologies with a picture every day, each week of the 4 weeks. So the week of the 9th, the 16th, etc. So 5 Shakeologies accompanied with a photo, and then 3 workouts. The workouts do not have to accompany a photo, okay? But they do have to be in a challenge group in the Challenge Tracker app in order to receive their money. Okay, so you can start, thinking about that, inviting people to that health bet with you. Also, on a side note, has anyone ever done a diet bet? I've never done one before, but one of our coaches, she's a discount coach really right now. She just asked in our team page today if anybody was doing a diet bet, and I've never done one, but it seems to motivate some people if they put some money in and then have to work towards their goals in order to get a portion of that money back, if not all of it, or more, I think. Apparently Tony Horton did one, and I know Autumn has done one, and so I was looking into it right before this call. I haven't even gone any further, but it might be something to look into if you've never done one before. So I'm thinking about it. I will let you know if I do decide to move forward and do some sort of diet bet. I would obviously accompany it with my regular accountability group, and then just have people contribute if they wanted to the diet bet as well, just to help them stay a little bit more accountable to their goals and meet their goals. So with all of that, I don't think I have any other announcements, but it is November 20, what's the date? 9th already? Or 8th? November 28th. So it is the end of the month. If you haven't hit Success Club yet, it's not too late. You can still help 3 people meet their goals or start to meet their goals. One thing that I'm focusing on for the rest of the year is not necessarily because we all know it's hard to lose weight throughout the holidays, right? But if anything, can we help people maintain? Can we help them start and create some new habits and at least maintain and not gain the regular 10 pounds that people gain over the holidays? So that's something that I'm going to be focusing on with people when I'm talking to them, reaching out to even past customers, getting them back in, hey, I know it's hard through the holidays and you're going to make up every excuse in the world, but can you at least, join a group and, at least try to help yourself maintain through the rest of the year. You'll be much happier on January 1st if you were able to maintain some habits, maintain your weight, and feel good at the end of the year rather than indulge way too much and have zero accountability, and then January 1st feel horrible and like you have to start all over. So those are just some things, because obviously we're all going to indulge some, right? I mean, it's the holidays, it happens, but but to at least have a group of people that are helping you stay accountable, that's always helpful, and to try and just keep at least some of those habits going, at least most of the time, right? 80% of the time at least. So with all of that, let's move into the meat of the call. So I did take some notes. Let me see how I can get them both on so I can still see you and see my notes. And again, un momento, please. Close that. Okay, so some of us in the Fit Warriors team have been reading this book called Get Over Your Damn Self by Romy, I think is how you say her name. I'm not really sure. Romy Newstead. But it's actually great. I wasn't sure what to expect from it, but it's so practical. It's exactly what we talk about as coaches. I guess the past few books I've read have been very much personal development and not necessarily geared towards the business as specific as this one is. So Romy I'm just learning a little bit. She is in network marketing, and she's in one of the makeup industry. Is it makeup? I think it's makeup or skincare. One of the skincare industries. Which one? I don't know. They don't specifically say. She keeps her business general, but everything she does. Thanks, Megan. Rodan and Fields, we believe it is. But everything she does is what we do. Talking about your why, connecting with your why, making a list of prospects, connecting with those prospects, thinking about your story and different ways that you can connect to your story and connect other people's stories and share those stories with others. Wait, a former student, sorry, I have to see this, is in her downline. Wow, that's so fun. Interesting. Very interesting. But it's been great. So I'm on chapter 6, and some of the things that really connected with me was the chapter about your why and the chapter about your story. So we all know that we talk about our why all the time, okay? And many of us, I think, and myself included, have confused my why with my story. And I actually, one big reason that I have been very stagnant this year is because I was not connecting to a why, really. So when I first started this business 3 years ago, it was because of food. It was because my best friend was fighting cancer. She was in remission at the time, and she was learning all about food, clean eating, eating whole foods, taking the right supplements to help her fight this and not have the cancer come back. Unfortunately, many of you know that is unfortunately not what happened. But when I got into this business, it was because Lindsay was running a clean eating group, and I loved it. So my why then, and really it's still a big part of my why, but it's not, I think it's more my story. I thought it was my why, but it's really more it's really my story. Okay. My why, what I thought was my why, was to help other people learn about food and how it affects their bodies. But that's really not my why. That's not what drives me every single day to do this business. And so over the last couple of years, my why evolved a little bit more. And once I got into the business side of things a little bit more, and it wasn't just about Challenge Group, but it really was about, building this business and doing what I can to make this a full-time thing. But I was connecting with that I wanted to, my why was to be able to be a stay-at-home mom if and when that time comes for me. Now, you all know that I am a single 38-year-old woman that lives in the city of Chicago that is not dating anybody. So connecting with the why about being a stay-at-home mom for me was like, Lindsay had to basically straight up say, like, that's not strong enough because you're connecting with something that's not even right now. It's not even like a possibility for you. Not in a bad way, and you know what I mean? But it just isn't. So I had to rethink, because I kept saying, like, when I want to make the choice to walk away from work and be able to stay at home with kids, then that's why I want to do this. But that wasn't driving me every day, because all that was doing was making me more upset that I was not a mom and that I was still single and I didn't have that. So I had to really dig deep and think about why I really want to do this. Your why needs to be big enough to make you cry. It needs to be big enough to make you consistently show up for your business every single day. And I still struggle with it because I feel like I live like this crazy life, because I do want to find that man. And if, having a baby ever comes my way, that would be great. So I feel like I have that side of things. And then I have business side of things. But they can coincide with each other. So my why now is to be able, so many of you know that I'm extremely unhappy at my job right now. It's not fulfilling me. I don't feel value at my job, and it's hard to say that because I'm in education. I should go to work every day. I should feel value. I've gone to a lot of schooling. I've spent a lot of money I've worked really hard to get to the position that I'm in, and I'm just unhappy. I hate it. I dread going to work every day. So it's just horrible. I need to walk away at the end of this school year. I have to. Whether or not I walk away and I'm full-time doing this, or I walk away and I'm doing something else, or I walk away and get a job at another school, which I think I need to walk away from education. For now, maybe I'll go back, but I don't think so. So my why is to be able to walk away from my job. So, and be able to do whatever I want whenever I want. I travel a lot. That's a big part of my life right now. And every time I have to take a day off work, I feel guilty. I feel bad that, I feel like people are judging me because I have to leave. So like, those are big things, big whys for me that are about me. Your why has to be about you. It can't be about money. It can't be about your husband. It can't be about your children. It can't be about anything but you. And I know that sounds weird because it is, in a way, I'm sure, many of your whys. I think everybody on here is a mother, except for me. I know many of your whys are to, in some way, provide more for your family, or provide for your children, or to show your children, what they can do, or, we'll share. Hopefully some of you will be open to sharing what your why is. But from the book, I loved this, is that as women, this is why many times our whys are not connected personally to ourselves, is because as women, we are programmed to take care of other people. We are not programmed to take care of ourselves first. And even myself, I don't have someone here to take care of all the time, but I am one that Sheila will tell you from forever, like I will do, and so will she, and maybe it's just how we grew up, like we will do anything for anybody else before we would for ourselves. Like it's just, we're all programmed to do that, right? So, which is why it makes it hard to make your why specifically about yourself. So building this business for others is not going to be enough. Building this business for your husband, or building this business for your children, or building this business for the money is not going to be enough. Obviously, all of those things are a part of it, right? But it has to be about you. It's okay for you to be selfish about what you want. And that can be a huge mind shift for many of us, is to make it specifically about what you want. I wanted to find, no, I probably won't even be able to find the example that I'm looking for. Hang on, give me 1 second. No, I don't know where it is. I should have marked it. Sorry. And your why will evolve. Like I said, my why was different when I first started. Then I thought it was something else, and it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough because I was not consistently working this business a lot of this year. And I know many of you have seen that. I've struggled with it all year. I've still struggled with being consistent. But I'm working harder and harder at being more consistent, and continuing with this, making this business my own, and making it something that is going to allow me to walk away from my job. It has to. It's going to. Does anyone want to share their why? Is anyone open to sharing their why? You can unmute yourself and share what your why is. Or do you need help with your why? Maybe we can brainstorm and help each other.
Hey, I'll start.
Because I know, Sheila, this is something you struggle with too.
Yeah, so hi, I'm Sheila. There's some new faces on here I've never met. Hi, Kate. How's your ankle? Is it okay?
Sure.
Oh, good. Okay, so I'm Sheila. I'm Amanda's sister. I am an Emerald coach for a long time. I'm going to walk away from Nora. She's on her iPad being very loud. So this year has been pretty just standard, like just not moving at all. My one emerald actually is not emerald anymore, so now I'm even further from diamond. But and I'm realizing, as Amanda's speaking about my story and my why, I need help with, because I am struggling. This is the first month in a long time that I've not even have 1 point of the Success Club. And usually I'm on the top leaderboard. But it seems like ever since I cut back my job, which is what I thought my why was, I cut back my hours to be home more with my kids, I'm struggling even more. I don't put in the time, I don't put in the effort, and it's been hard. So obviously my why was not what I thought I needed to work the business. Because my why, what I thought was to be a stay-at-home mom or part-time. I didn't want to be full-time, but I wanted to be part-time stay-at-home mom. And because I love my job, so I don't have that where Amanda does. You know, I like doing what I do. I'm an ultrasound tech. And I love it. I love going to work every day. I have fun there, but I love also being home with my kids and being able to provide and be here with them and take them to school and have fun with them and have fun with my family on Wednesdays when we're all together. That's the only day that we have all together is Wednesdays, my one day off. So that's also like that day that I was supposed to like try to work on the business is my family day. So it's like, I don't want to work on the business when I want to spend time with my family. So, you know, as far as my why, like that can relate completely to me, I would say I want to be so selfish where I want to be able to buy whatever I need without having to okay it through my husband. I don't know if any of you guys can fucking relate, excuse my language, but it's annoying and it sucks and I hate it. And I am at the store or I'm online and I have to message him. What card do I use? What can I buy this right now? Can I do that? I don't want to do that. I'm so like, I make good damn money as my real job and doing Beachbody on the side. I should be able to do what I want, but I don't feel I'm there yet as far as like having that extra money other than bills, you know. And then, you know, I'm not a big shopper, and it's crazy because I'm not a big shopper, but I want to be able to be a big shopper if I wanted to. Okay. So, you know, and I don't know if that's strong enough where it's going to bring me to tears. And it kind of did right now. It's just weird because it did almost like, because I want to like go to the store and do what I want. And I think it's that freedom that, that not having to be, what's the word? Be,
dependent.
depended on or whatever. If he was not here, that's a horrible thing to say, but I want to be able to support myself, be able to do what I need to do, be able to buy what I need to buy, and be okay. So I think that is what I need to focus on, and hopefully it will help drive my business. Because like I said, it's been a struggle these last couple months, and it seems like it's been ever since I cut my hours back. And I don't know why that happened. I mean, I'm just in a funk, but I'll get back there. And I almost feel like I need to start over. And I know that you guys are all here supporting me, and I learn from all of you, and you guys are all amazing. And I watch you all on Facebook, and you guys are great. So I love our team, and I'm excited that Amanda's going to push this team further, and she's a great leader, and I love being on this team. So, all right, I'm done.
Thanks, Sheila.
Sure.
I mean, I can talk specifically about, because I know her obviously a lot, pretty well, but I'm not going to elaborate on it. But I think you're on the right track. I think yours has to do with independence. I was telling Jackie, I think I was telling Jackie, or I was telling somebody the other day, a couple people, that you are very dependent on both Kevin and our mom still as a 35-year-old woman. And I think you need to, maybe your next personal development book should be about something with independence. And I think that's what this business can give you, is independence. Because this is one thing that you feel confident in, and that you can help other people. So I think that is, have you read You Are a Badass, Sheila? I would read that one. Is that
not fully? I did start it on audio, and I never finished it, but I did at one point start it.
Yeah.
But it's definitely the confidence in being independent, because I don't feel confident, because I do rely a lot on, you're right, my mom and Kevin, and I don't pay finances, like he does all the bills and like all of that. So it's definitely, I need a little growing up to do. It's sad at 35 years old. I'm sorry, you guys are learning the real me here, but sorry. All right, I'll stop.
Mm-hmm. There's all kinds of comments about to help too, Sheila. Make a vision board. Laura's struggling with the same thing. Oh, Susan, I'm sorry. Hope the baby feels better. I'm glad you're going to jump on for a little bit. Yes, Sheila, you need to give yourself more credit. I don't know why you and I both struggle with that, but we don't give ourselves more credit. I'm not sure why, but maybe Mom can tell us why. So anybody else want to share their why? Megan, will you share yours? Because I think it's very different.
Why or story? Which
why?
Either both. Why?
Why for now? We're going to talk about story in a minute.
Well, I guess I've had a little bit of an epiphany in the last month or so, and I shared a little bit about it last night on my post. And hearing you talk a little bit more about it tonight, I think my why is just an intrinsic need to be a provider for our family. I didn't realize how much of a drive I had for that, and how much that does motivate me, and how much that gives me some self-worth, which it's not about, do I feel worthwhile, but to an extent it does. I was a stay-at-home mom making nothing for a long time, and while I loved being home with the babies, I was really losing myself day by day. And while I didn't get into coaching for any kind of monetary reason except to pay for my Shakeology. When the business did start picking up a little bit, I take pride in that little bit that I get each week. And so, you can see the potential in that. So I guess my why is that I feel like more of a contributing factor in our partnership. And I will say this to everybody. Doug and I are always, he is always like, what is mine is ours. It's not my money, it's our money. We have always been a partnership in that way. So it will never be about what, it's my complex. I mentioned it in my post last night. It's my own feeling of that this is something that I appreciate, that I want to be able to do for my family. Later on, as business grows more, obviously I'd like that money to be helping with the kids' college funds. We'd like to be able to buy more. In my mind, I'd like to be able to buy more farming ground for the kids' future, and that crap's expensive. So, it's just I got places where I want the money to go, and sometimes it's just things like Polar Express tickets too. So.
Thank you. Anyone else? Or we'll move on to talking about stories. Jackie, are you going to share? You didn't want to talk.
I will. My headache is
going better. Before the call. Don't make me talk. I have a headache.
I'm sorry. I texted Amanda before the call, and I was like, my head hurts. Don't ask me to talk, but I'm feeling better, so I'll talk. My story is really simple. I started on my health and fitness journey because the last 18 years of my life has been negative and in an unhealthy way. I was a smoker, and God only knows what I did to my body. I don't even want to break it down and think about it. But I didn't care about what I put in my mouth, what I ate, what I did. So when I quit smoking, and I was shocked that I was actually able to do it, I wanted to replace everything with positive and healthy habits. And I don't know if anybody knows this, but I went to high school with Amanda. So I was watching her, and I was like, well, if she can do this, I can do this. So I reached out to her. And once I got in her accountability group, I was sold. I mean, the positivity I was looking for and the inspiration and everything, it was just something that worked for me and my family. I don't know if you watch my posts, if you see them, but my whole family is very fitness orientated. My husband is like Mr. Gym guru, knows everything, loves to prove me wrong, and totally keeps me on my toes. And my daughter is athletic and makes me jealous. I know she's 16, but I want to keep up with her because when she's jumping around, I should be too, right? But plain and simple, my why, it is financial in a sense that I do like that saying, you want to build a life by design. I want to be debt free. I don't want to have car payments. I'm realistic. I'm not going to say I don't want a mortgage payment because that's a big one, but I don't want credit card debt. I want to be able to take vacations and not worry about where the money's going to come from. I work full time outside the home. I do love my job. I've been there for 15 years. I'm an office manager and paralegal at a law firm downtown. I don't ever want to replace that, but I love doing this as a part-time gig. And I want to keep it that way because the biggest part of my why is this is holding me accountable, because I can't be a coach and then not do the things that I'm telling everybody else to do. So I feel like if I am a coach, that I'm going to have to work out. I'm going to have to eat clean. I'm going to have to meal prep. And it keeps me on my toes and it keeps me working towards my goals. And without all this, I'd flop. I wouldn't be doing a workout every day. I wouldn't be meal prepping every week. I know that. So this keeps me in line. And that's my biggest why, because I want to teach my kids that this is the way you should live your life. These are the healthy habits. And if, I want them to forget mom smoked. I know that's not going to happen, but I want them to forget mom smoked. And I want them to think of mom was crazy and mom made 10 meals every Sunday and she drove us nuts to go to the grocery store and, and then everything had to be measured and put in Ziploc bags. And, I want them to think I'm crazy like that. That's the memories I want them to have. And as a coach, that's my why. And if I don't do this, I won't follow through. So mine's more of a keep me on my toes and keep me doing what I want to do. Make sense?
Yeah. So a few weeks ago when you texted me and you wanted to quit, is that what brought you back? Because that's whatever turned it around back to the positive. That's your why. So what turned it around?
Well, everybody, my husband is a big baby. He needs 100% attention at all times. If you are not paying attention, he will tell you. So not in a mean way, but in an overbearing way to the point where you're just like, whatever, I'll sit here. So he's getting better, but there's a lot of pressure. I have to teach him. It's like I have 3 kids, okay? Don't record this. Do we have to record this? Oh, he's not on Facebook. We're good. I was like freaking out, and I texted Amanda that I wanted to be done because I was spending so much time in the wrong areas, because I'm the type of person that when I want to do something, I jump all in and I want to do it 24/7 until I've got it down. And that's a good thing in some ways, but not on this. And I think I just overdid it. I burnt myself out. I had to listen to him. He burnt me out, and I wanted to be done. And what turned me around is I knew that if I stopped, and Amanda, when I text you, I was on like a little ride thing at an apple farm, and I was sitting there going through the apple farm, and I'm thinking, well, I guess I'm not going to work out anymore. I guess I'm not going to eat clean anymore, because that's how my brain is wired with this. I know I need this for me, and the thought of losing that was just too much. So does that make sense? Does it make sense? Sometimes I feel like I rattle. Does it make sense?
It does.
Well,
Thumbs up, yeah.
Yeah.
your drive was smoking, and now you're
My
not
what?
smoking. Your drive, before you got fulfillment from smoking. You know, I was a smoker, so you got that, and you know, it almost replaces that in lots of ways, but in a healthier way.
It replaces the time, because if anybody's ever been a smoker, you know that when you smoke, it takes up a lot of time. You got to go outside to smoke, take smoke breaks. So when you don't have that anymore, you've got all this time. It's amazing. What are you going to do with it? So it fills my time very well.
Yeah. Good. Mm-hmm. All right. So as you can tell, we all shared our why with our story. Like we had to share part of our story in order to get to our why. So when I say like your why is not your story, it's not your story, but it is a part of your story. So obviously all of us shared part of our story as we were sharing what our why is and what makes us keep showing up to this business every single day, because it's not easy. So like when it's hard and when I don't want to, like I haven't power houred yet. So if anybody wants to stay on and power hour with me after this, that will help me, because I really just want to go to bed. So like, but I have to keep thinking about my why in order for me to keep pushing every day. Because if I don't, I can't just think about my story. I can't think back of the last 3 years and think about like how things have evolved and how my story has changed and whatever. I have to think about that why, that thing that I need to quit my job and I need to do, and I want to do this full time. This is what fulfills me. This is what makes me feel valued. This is what makes me feel like I do have self-worth, and that I do, you know, unfortunately, my other job does not give me that anymore. It did at one point, and it just doesn't anymore. And that's hard to share, and it's really hard for people to understand, especially my family. So with that said, we also need to be good storytellers. We're basically paid storytellers. So, you know, we share in the 5-day sneak peeks that we're not salespeople, but we're share people. And she actually talks about the same thing in this book, which I think is like just so cool. I'm like, oh, they call it the same thing. Share people. We're share people. That's awesome. So the better you are at telling your story, and I actually think that we all have very many different stories. Romy shares that your story should be 45 seconds to a minute. You should be able to rattle it off really quickly and not give too much information to people, not overwhelm them. Well, if I told my entire 3-year story with this business, with every aspect of it, it could not be 45 minutes to a minute, or 45 seconds to a minute. So I think we actually have various stories. But first, let's think about our coaching story. So basically, the elements of your story matter. So in the book, she asks you to answer 4 questions. And I'm actually going to give you the example I'll read the example that she gives in the book, just because I think it's just worded really nicely. And I think it just helps you to think about how yours can be crafted in that way. And then I'll try and tie my story into this same format. So the questions are who you are and where you've been, what's happened in your life to cause you to look for something more, how you heard about your company and why you had to be a part of it, and what it's doing for you or what it's going to do for you. Because depending on where you are in the business now, it might not be doing for you what you want it to yet, but it will. So what is it going to do for you in that last one? So the example she gives, so I'll read it fully and then we'll break it down into the question. So she says, I've been tied to the billable hour and at the beck and call of my clients for my entire career. First as a lawyer and then as a PR exec. But as a mom of 2 little ones, I want more flexibility, to own my own schedule, and to make more money to get further ahead. It's a tall order for a working mom, but I found a way to have it. My PR client introduced me to her company, which we Rodan & Fields. She was funding the business. She hired me to promote through her side gig with Rodan & Fields. I immediately recognized this was a way to build my exit strategy from corporate America. I'm excited to grow a team and customer base around my PR practice, the kids, and all the other things on my plate to create the lifestyle that I want. And I'm excited to help others have more options too. So she starts with who she is, a little bit about who she is and where she's from. So I've been tied to the billable hour and at the beck and call of my clients my entire career, first as a lawyer and then as a PR exec. So quick, short, just basic about who she is or where she has been, if she, her 2 careers basically. And then what's happened in your life to look for something more. So the next part is talking all about her, what she wants. So as a mom of 2 little ones, I want more flexibility. I want to own my own schedule. I want to make more money to get further ahead. It's a tall order for a working mom, but I found a way to have it. So she's putting that little bit of, but I found a way, and now she's going to share what that way is. So how'd you hear about your company? My PR client introduced me to my company. She was funding the business. I immediately recognized this as a way to build my exit strategy from corporate America to the lifestyle that I want. So that's the whole, how did she hear about it? Why did she have to be a part of it? And then what is it doing for her? It's not doing anything for her yet, but she's excited to grow a team and a customer base around her PR practice, the kids, and all the other things on her plate to create the lifestyle that she wants. And she's excited to have more options too. So I just really like how it breaks it down. My goal was to write mine before I got on the call with you guys today, and that didn't happen. But I can kind of run through it now. So basically where I'm at and where I've been is that I've been living this ordinary life that my parents laid out for me, right? That I needed to go to college and then I get a job and then I even got married, didn't have the kids thing, got divorced. I went in education, basically in education, you get a master's if you want to make more money. Well, I got 3 of them. And so I feel like I've just been doing what you're supposed to do. And so then what's happened in my life? Well, now I'm at a place in my life where I am not happy with that job, no matter what I do to try and make it better. I am not happy, and I need to find a way out, a way to help me feel more valued and more fulfilled in my life. So when this business opportunity, when Lindsay was sharing crazy at 25 weeks pregnant about this business that she was starting, I had to learn more. And it has given me the freedom. It has given me financially given me freedom thus far. And I am looking forward to growing a bigger team and growing even more so to be able to live a full life of freedom, not just financially, but with my time, with my travel, with every aspect of my life. So, I mean, that literally was just like off the top of my head. It needs some work to actually get out and I need to think it through a little bit more, but the stories are short, like I said. I love the things, I'm just going to go through the things that she talks about to leave out of your story, and then I'll see if anybody is ready to share there. So notice we're talking about our coaching stories, and I'm going to share, oh gosh, it's 8:53 already, so I'll try and be quick. I want us to put together a library of our stories. I tried to get people to share their stories a couple of weeks ago, and not most people didn't share them. So hopefully we can share that form again. I'll share that form again and have people, share their story, whether it's video or just written out, so that because we all have a different story. Like, obviously, I'm living a single life. I don't like my job. I want to leave it. All of you have shared something different. Megan was a stay-at-home mom, not feeling like she was able to contribute to her family. That's a much different story than mine. If I'm connecting with somebody who can relate to Megan's story, I'm going to share Megan's story with that person, not necessarily my own story. But if we don't have a library of all of our stories, then we don't have those to share. So I think it would be helpful if we just had a library of all of our stories. One easy way to do that is just use the Google form that I created. All you do is fill it out with your name and your either a video or just kind of write out your story. And then the spreadsheet is there, and then you can see what everyone's stories are. So, but really quick, things to leave out of your story. In that you really have to, like I said, I just quickly went off of all of that off the top of my head, but really what it comes down to it is that you have to only share what's essential and not this extra fluff. I'm sure mine just had a bunch of extra fluff because I was just off the cuff sharing. But really you have to be ruthless about editing and having other people read it and listen to it. So we can even share with each other, and how does this sound, and what can I change here? So the things you need to leave out are the fluff, suggesting behavior that you don't want them to do, which this one I thought was so interesting. For example, I heard about my company and I immediately started researching everything I could about it for 2 weeks. If that is not what you want your prospect to do, then don't share that in your story. Even if you did it, you don't want them to go spend 2 weeks doing all of their research. You want to help them. You want them obviously to do their research. Yes, right? Because you want them to make the best decision for themselves, but you want them to be able to ask you questions and maybe ask other people questions. But if you don't want them to go spend 2 weeks doing a bunch of research, then don't share that you did. Or this one was good. I used the products for 2 years before I joined as a coach. Do you want them to continue as a customer for 2 years before they join you? Even if that is your story, I don't know. I don't think it is any of our stories here. Then don't share that. So remember that everything you say and everything you do is teaching people how to do this business. So if you're, posting something every single day that maybe isn't necessary, then I think sometimes I do this to myself. is because people think that they have to like get up at 5 a.m. and work out and share a sweaty selfie every morning. I don't know. So it's just some things that it made me rethink some things, and that people are watching and everything that you do every day. So like if they think that that's what you have to do as a coach, or you have to be perfect, or you have to, then that's why we share our struggles as well. Personal product testimonials that say leave out of your coach story. So notice I didn't share like my results from Shakeology or my results from any of the programs, because those aren't really specific to why I'm a coach or why, that's a different story. And we can have another library of product testimonials and stories of our own, as well as like our customers. Because I think we do have, all the time we get questions, hey, does anybody have somebody who is a hypothyroid, or does somebody have somebody who had lupus, or somebody, does anyone have a testimony from this or that? Well, what if we had all of those in a library rather than like having to ask each other all the time? But like when you do have a testimony from somebody, I can go look that up in the file section or wherever, and be able to have all of those in one place. And we can constantly add to it as we get more results from people. And it could be just sharing from, there's a bunch of those stories that we can find from places, but I think it's even better if it's our own story or one of our own customers' stories. And then another thing not to share is an ending that doesn't contain quantifiable. So you don't want to give exact numbers and like money, which by the way, I will post, did I post the disclosure? I'm going to. If you are posting anything, we just talked about this the other day, Megan, if you post anything in regards to financial success, whether or not it's specific to like how much you make or whatever, but in any way, if you're suggesting that this business has given you financial success, you have to put the Beachbody disclosure statement at the bottom of your post. So I will post that in the team pages, just so that you can take that and you just put it, like I have put it in my notes section. I put it in the notes on my computer just so that it's just a quick copy and paste and put it in there. And it basically just says that Beachbody does not guarantee any level of success. It does take hard work, skill, blah, blah, blah. Okay. And your story, like our why, will change and evolve. Your story is going to evolve. So like I said, we have a lot of different stories. I shared my story about food and how I'm terrified to get cancer, and that all comes from like the very beginning of my business. But like I also have different coaching stories, and I have different stories from each of the programs, and I have stories about time, and I have stories about organization and story. We have stories for all different things, and I think we share those a lot, like with each other in posts, but to keep them even shorter so that when you're talking with people that you have some good stories to share. Because remember, stories sell, facts tell. But your story should actually be fact-based with a whole bunch of emotion, because stories pull people in with emotion. There can be facts in your story, but really it's more about like the emotion, connecting with somebody emotionally. Does anybody want to, before we jump off, it is 9:00, does anyone want to share their story or a part of their story, or it's up to you? No? You don't have to. You can think about it. And then you can share it in my form when I reshare it. All right. Well, I hope, really it's just about connecting with your why is going to build momentum. It's going to help push you forward. Having this library of stories is only going to help all of us be more successful in helping other people. If we're able to connect with somebody in a way that we cannot personally connect with somebody, right? Because maybe I don't have experience with XYZ, but maybe Audrey does, and she shared that story with me. Maybe I don't know it right now, but now she shares her story with the team. And so when I'm talking to this prospect, I know Audrey's story, and I can share that with that person. So I think having a library and just sharing our stories and with each other, and even our whys with each other, will only make us all stronger as a team, as individuals, in helping other people and helping more and more and more people just live happy, healthy, and fulfilling lives, right? That's what we want to do. That's what I want to do. I just want to help as many people as possible live this amazing life that we get to live. Like, look at what we get to do. Think about, like, how many people sit on a call on a Monday night, like, talking about how their story and their why and, like, how can I be better and what do I want with my life in the future? Like, people don't do this on a normal everyday basis or every week basis. I know I didn't before this business. Like, that's pretty amazing that we get to do that and that we get to be a part of something that allows us to do this, and connect with other people that share the same passion and the same desire to live this awesome, amazing life. So with that, I will let everybody go. If anybody wants to power hour with me, I will stay on. But I understand if you don't need to. Does anyone have a question? I see Jackie has her hand raised.
I do.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't want a power hour. I'm going to bed. But I wanted to ask and see if anybody had an opinion on this or what you do. I've never done the 3-day refresh. I'm not going to do it with the December group. I wanted to do it in January. So I see everybody and their awesome pictures, their before and afters, and I'm saving them and stealing them. It's kind of stalkerish. But my question is I want to do like a full week of all different, and I'm asking everybody if I can steal them. But my question is, when you would post that, would you tag them or would you have to ask them to be tagged, or is it distasteful to tag the other coach? What do you think? I've never done that before. So what does everybody do? You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
That makes sense. So, like, if you shared Carissa's before and afters, should you tag Carissa?
Right. Or do I ask her? Or do you just not do it at all and you just say, here is Carissa and her story?
What do you think, Audrey? What were you going to say?
I think if they haven't said, I think you should ask them. However, if we all just want to say, I'm open to it. If we want to make a post on the team page and say, hey, if you're doing the refresh and you want to put your picture here, and say right now you're open to anyone using it, because I'm like you, I want to ask people, but if we all just say, hey, here it is, use it, whoever, right. I'm open to it. I think I find it all to do to be able to share those anyway.
And it helps the person you're tagging, I would think, right? Because it's going to come up on their page too. So randomly, if I was to tag you, Audrey, it's going to come up on your page with your pictures. So
right,
like
so
an extra.
That's almost promoting for them too, and for your customer base, for your.
Yeah, and it's kind of like our story in that I may want to use a picture, like somebody posted. Lindsay is so totally in shape, so I want to reach people that, don't look at it and go, well, whatever. But you may want to use different ones. But anyway, I just thought that was really funny, and so it gives us the option to reach out to different people. Like, maybe this is for these people, and maybe this one's for these people. So that's my 2 cents.
I like your 2 cents.
Deborah, did you have something else, or were you going to say the same?
I was just going to add, let's say someone does put their picture there and, 20 of us use it. in a different post and 20 of us are tagging that person, that's a lot of tags on their page. So for me, it's like, okay, the stuff that they're trying to put out there about themselves is now maybe not going to show up because it's going to be flooded with everybody else's posts on their page.
Yeah.
So other coaches. So
That's true too.
I don't know.
Well, I don't know if it's the settings on Facebook or if somebody tags me, I have to approve it for it
I
to
do
go on
too.
my page. So
And I
like,
don't.
5 different, oh, so you don't? I think it's got to be the settings for that. Miss Amanda?
You can set it that way, I think. 'Cause I don't have it approval either. You can just.
I do.
I do.
I want to see what's going on my page. But yeah, I mean, so if that's the case and you have it set like that, then you can control, I would think, what goes on there. But
Mhm.
That
that's
could
one
be
of those.
in the question of the post. If you want to add your picture here, please add your picture and say if you would prefer not to be posted. I have a setting where I have to approve it, but not everyone does. And,
Yeah.
Yeah, Amanda, if you could do that, if you could like start a thread or anybody start a thread and then everybody can post in it and then say yes or no for tagging. And if we can, well, obviously, if you don't want everybody to use it, you're not going to post your picture in there.
Right. Yeah, we can do that. It's almost like we need a library of before and afters for like each of the different programs. So I feel like we're always
That would be
asking. I feel like we're always asking for them, and like I don't have them just saved somewhere, and I should. We all, you know what I mean? So let me see how we can work on that too. I'm like, we like need a library for everything. We need just like this place of. I mean, we got to work smarter, right? That's working smarter by having this place.
It would be very beneficial. Don't you think it would be very beneficial to everybody if that option was there to use it? And even like categorizing, sometimes like I'm not, and I don't know if anybody in our group is, but even like a pregnancy thing, a lot of people, I'm pregnant during any of this stuff. So if somebody has like all the testimonial for that, that would be good.
Questions all the time.
Yeah.
So having a place for those. Kate?
This is unrelated to any of that, so if you want, are you guys done? I have a question about timing on groups for January.
Yeah.
Like with your experience, is it better to wait a week and I usually start on Mondays. The first Monday is the second, so I think that's too soon. So is the 9th enough time, or do you usually go on one more week?
I'm planning on
the 9th.
Go for the 9th?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the second. I think after
That too.
people recover on the first from whatever they're doing, I think they feel that pressure to be like, I should be at the gym now.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, the second could be like your preseason week.
Yeah.
Where at least it gets them starting to think about it and then like have it officially start on the 9th. Because then some people who are dragging feet, I have people all the time who, even though it's preseason, they start. Like with the core course group, even if it was preseason and some of us coaches started, so did some of the challengers start because they saw us doing it and they just wanted to they're so excited they want to get started. I mean, it's not a bad thing at all, right? So.
Are people checked out like that last week of December? Like last week was super slow, right? No one was online. It was just dead. Is that how it is that last week?
I think because of where Christmas falls this year, because it's on the weekend, I don't know.
Okay.
I feel like people might not be. I feel like when Christmas is during the week, like it takes up your whole week, right? But because it's on the weekend, we might be okay. Like it might not interrupt too much during the week. Obviously the weekend will be basically, who wants to work? Like I always feel bad even messaging people on Thanksgiving, you know what I mean? Like, because that's the last thing that that they're thinking about or that I'm even thinking about, right? So, like, I probably won't message people too much on Christmas, even Christmas Day. I mean, just some general, like, you know, Merry Christmases, those types of things for sure, just to keep those connections, but not like, I wouldn't probably do invites on those days, right? But I think during the week before and the week after Christmas, because I think because of where it falls, and I don't know what other people's like school and work situations are, but like I have the whole 2 weeks after Christmas off. But I don't think
whatever. Rub it in.
People go back to work. Like I don't know what like days off are going to be like for people. So.
But I think, Kate, if I could just add, it's the way you're looking at it too. I would kind of look at it as how am I going to engage them? Because if you want to pull them in, you know, I mean, I was lazy on my last week. I just finished my group up. I was very light on the actual holidays, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, just one post plus like a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year, you know, and then one post. But I'm trying to do a little extra to get them going and get them thinking about, you know, because I just did a really nice video. That was a real tough love video for people. And I posted it in my group. Yeah, it was a rough one. It took some balls to put it out there. But what do you call it? Laura, did you watch it? Was it good?
Yeah, it was good. I mean, critiquing wise, you definitely did repeat a lot.
Oh, I know, I do that.
But I mean, I'm sure for the people that, you know, aren't doing this, it's probably helpful, you know, like I know when I don't make time to do the actual workout program, I am going outside, you know, doing a jog or walk with my dog, you know, trying to get my daughter out there still, stuff like that. And there was even a time where if, you know, because I haven't been able to get up before work lately to work out. So when I get home and everybody else is home, and right now, I mean, this is my office where I used to work out. There are Mustang car parts all in the office right now, okay? So that leaves me to the living room where everybody is most of the time, you know? So I guess for you, Jackie, with a supportive family, that's great. I know, you know, when we were talking about it a little bit in the group, it's like they'll cheer you on or, you know, whatever. But I have people out there that are going to make fun of me. They want to watch their show, whatever it is. They want to watch their Netflix or their Hulu show or, you know, whatever. I'm in the way. So, I mean, even one time I took my laptop, you know, to use VOD in the kitchen. Like, well, you know, kept the volume down low, but I was like, this was already stuck in my mind that this is what I'm doing today.
Right.
You know, so I had to do what I could do because I felt let down when I got back in from my walk with the dog that, you know, I was so revving to get to do a court of force, you know. But I mean, yeah, I think that the video was good. I think that it's definitely a point, and I think that it made me think today throughout the day in my boring parts of work that kind of means, you know, when you included nutrition, that kind of means I haven't really done a program 100%. I've done the workout program 100%, but if you include the whole meal prep nutrition thing, no. That's embarrassing to say, but it's the truth.
It's the hardest part. It is the hardest part, I think, for everybody. Yeah. But back to just that answer, Kate, I would try to engage them. I don't think it's a matter of if they're not going to participate, how are you going to get them to participate? That's kind of the way I was looking at it.
I just have a hard time wrapping my head around timing and getting the timing right to promote the groups. It takes a week to ship, you know, 2 weeks out, and then like the week before. I mean, people seem disappointed when they jump in on a group and and then like there's one last week left and they're starting their program, you know? And so like 3 weeks is almost like not long enough sometimes, you know, I don't know. So I'll talk to you offline about it.
Yeah.
Okie doke.
Jackie and I were talking about like how this exact thing, like planning your calendar for the month and like planning when you're going to promote things and when you're going to do things, like that's something that's like definitely another call that we can do. I think we did it a while back, but it's definitely another one that we can do because I think that's important. And I think it's something that sometimes gets overlooked, or, you know, so like right now, you should be planning your calendar for December. Like, what does it look like? When are your groups? When are you promoting them? When are, you know, and even into January, because December is so weird, you should be planning into January too, so that you know what you're promoting in January or in December for January. So
like for January 9th, the January 9th group, when would you start promoting that?
now,
Mid-December.
Now? Would you start putting stuff up now, already for January 9th? Really?
kind of only because of the holiday, because because we don't want to get too close to Christmas, because people are going to be like, I don't have any money. I don't have, you know, so like if you can start promoting the health bed and January 9th, like I know it seems far away and to some people, but you start like planting the seeds now, start talking to people about it now, then, you know, it gives them time, because they're going to think, oh, yeah, maybe I'll be ready in January, but I can't do it in December. Like most people are like they don't want to start something new in December. And plus, like at this point, I've got my December groups ready. Like that was all of November is getting ready for December. So now anything that I'm doing moving forward now, because it's the last, December starts on Thursday, like it's for January. So like I probably wouldn't put like a specific, you know, group starting January 9th. Like, I don't know that I would put that post out yet, but I would start planting seeds. And in my personal conversations with people, I would be inviting for January 9th. But then maybe not that much longer, maybe another week, maybe by December 9th, you can start promoting, you know, like putting out that post, like group starting January 9th. Like, I don't think a month out is unreasonable for anyone, right?
Right.
So.
And also, just as a side note, with people saying that they don't have money for because of Christmas and all of that, you can kind of play the health bet as a twist that earn some of your Christmas money back by participating and doing what you're going to need to do anyways. You know, you can tie in the whole New Year resolution, lose weight, into now you can earn some of your Christmas money back too. I plan to do that kind of like twisty thing and get them thinking.
Right.
I don't know how yet, but I know I'm going to do it.
Okay.
Thanks everybody for staying on so late. Hopefully this was helpful. Hopefully you're starting to think about your why and your stories and connecting with that a little bit more. So keep remembering, like, your why is what's going to consistently bring you back every day to connecting with people, adding people to your network, inviting people to challenge groups, as well as the business opportunity. So with that, I hope you guys have an awesome night and an awesome week, and push strong through the end of the year. And I will talk to you guys soon.
Bye everybody.